Thank you for joining our session today. We're going to be covering MobileX for Sage 300, which is your Sage 300 data anytime, anywhere on a smartphone. There's no Sage 300 user license required. So you might have 3 or 4 people in your accounting team, and they obviously need to be linked to Sage 300 in order to fulfill their duties on a day-to-day basis. But you may well also have a sales team who are on the road who would benefit from having first-hand access to 300 data. So this is visible on the mobile device using a product of ours called Data Islands. It's essentially a snapshot of the data, updated at regular intervals, be that hourly or at the request of the customer. But it allows the salespeople to be able to look up the information regarding credit limits, for example, invoices sent, orders due, and also stock items. So why you might consider investing in MX S300? You have the standard accessibility feature of using mobile solutions, which means somebody can pull the data up on their smartphones. It leads to greater efficiency because they have access to pertinent customer information. They don't have to make a phone call back to the office to ask what are the stock levels, when was the last invoice due, when is the payment made, etc. And overall, there's greater collaboration because employees can view what the accounting staff are doing without having to actually bother them on the phone. It also means that when you're customer facing, that you're able to answer queries for them there and then, be that letting them know what the stock levels are in a given warehouse or how far out they might have to go to place an order, and therefore an idea of a timeline of delivery. So features of MobileX for Sage 300. So you can view overdue accounts, 4 accounts coming up there, and each one can be drilled into to get further information. You can look at open orders, open quotes. Within AR customers, for example, you can see financial details, orders, invoices, touch points, which I will come back to, notes, comments, payments, contacts, and there's also an items purchase report which reconfirms a summary of what a customer purchased in total. And then you have stock levels. So this is very handy. So we're looking at a fluorescent desk lamp here. We can see what location they're at, how many are on purchase order, how many are on standing order, etc. So very quick and easy to let a customer know what the stock levels are available for them. And there's lots more that you can view, but that gives you a high level of what you can navigate from your Sage 300 data. You can also search the data, so you could search on AR customers, AR customer contacts, AR customer orders, AP vendors, invoices, prospects, email or phone, so you could look up the phone number for a customer or you could look up the email address, and as I showed earlier there, you can look up items. This is your search screen and you can choose which one, and you can be as precise as you wish in terms of finding out more information on your smartphone. And then you have a CRM layer. When I attended Sage Summit, it came up a lot, people wishing that they could actually record communications against a customer, perhaps why a decision was made around credit, for example. So you can record touch points with MXS 300. You can log call notes. So here we've brought up the screen to record a conversation that took place between American Concrete Service and some member of your team. So it can be recorded as a phone in or phone out. We're saying here a phone out was made, confirming order will be delivered Monday, customer has been advised, so that anybody else who's looking at the data on MobileX S300 can tell a conversation took place, and you just click save to record that within the mobile app. You can also log SMS or WhatsApp messages. So if you were to choose the option of message, you can dictate the message using your standard mobile phone feature, and you can send it as an SMS or WhatsApp. That would be recorded as a communication that took place with the customer. All of this data is available for users of MobileX for Sage 300 or Accelerator for Sage 300, which is our Outlook integration tool. You can also create new prospects. So if you're on the road and you make a new contact, rather than having to write on a piece of paper, you can create the prospect in MobileX Sage 300, which means the entire team who are using MobileX can see that and search on it. Then down the line, that might be entered into Sage 300 data as a record there. You can also file emails. So you have a little envelope up here in the corner, which will only appear if you've actually connected to your Office 365 account. Very simple to do. There's just a sign in there. You need to know your username and password, and then you've made the link with your Office 365. So you can file emails in context, or you can search 300 data per email, and I'll show you that when we get into the demo. In terms of filing emails, you can, number one there is where you actually just view the email if the summary isn't enough for you, or you can take the context of the email. So as you can see, this is highlighted, so that's the email context, and once you X'd out of that, it would mean you're saving this particular email. Or number 3, you can search. So I've got an email here from Mark Reedy. I can run a search, and that will actually search my 300 data to see if Mark exists in the database, and you could file it from there on if you so wished. So I'm just going to have a look at the demo for Sage 300. On the screen, I'm rendering a mobile device here. As you can see, it's remembering a search that was run last time on the app. So there was 27 results, and you could take a look at what all of those were. So they were actually AR customers, or you can click through to AP vendors. So you have a shortcut from your dashboard screen here. You have overdue accounts visible for you, the date that it was last refreshed. You have open orders, or you have open quotes that you might want to look at. So we'll just pop into AR customers here, and I'm just going to do a search for break, and that's bringing me into a company called Breakaway Designs, and you can navigate through the information there. So we've got summary info here. If you were to make a call, for example, it would make the call for you, and then it will pop up to actually record that the conversation took place. So you can see there's a phone conversation here. So if I tap on the phone, now I'm on a desktop, so it's rendering into Skype, but it would make the call on your handheld device, and then it comes up with a log call message, and you could then record that using the dictation feature of your phone, or just type it in as you wish. So catch up a call and save it. So that's now being saved as a touch point against Breakaway Designs. And in order to review your touch points, you can tap on this little icon here, and it will bring up a list. So it's actually just got the phone conversation that we recorded there. You also have other information, so it could be details around the date of last invoice, the largest invoice, the highest balance, etc. You can take a look at any orders that are there and drill down. If I click on the icon, it's going to go into the actual order, and I can get the details around it, the order number. I can then also view to see what line items that they purchased. So a high back arm tilter, if I view that, I'm now able to see the location details. There's just 10 of them left in the Seattle warehouse on hand, but there are 57 in Newark, for example, 132 in the port of San Francisco. So you can tell how much is left of the line item that they purchased, and then you can drill back to Breakaway Designs at any point. So there's a lot that you can navigate through. You have, for example, the items purchased reports, comments made here. Contact person has a busy schedule, prefers email comment. So that's a comment that's actually been saved into 300 data about this customer. Going back to our dashboard here, you could go to invoices, for example, and I'm just going to leave that vague. Run a search on it, and you could go into any invoice number there. So we've got one for Mr. Ronald Black here, the line items that were purchased, etc. And again, you could drill back to the company level and scroll over to see what have they bought. So these are all the items that they've actually purchased, and you can see details around that. Now, if I wanted to go into my email, I have in my bottom right hand corner here my email, and I am actually going to look at this request for extended credit terms, and I'm going to actually search 300 for that. So that's going to bring me into FrameUp, which is where that Magellan CRM Together is recorded. And I can record that there's actually been a request for extended credit terms. Click Save, and then I might make a phone call out to FrameUp to have a chat with them. So phone out or a message if you want, and you can choose WhatsApp or SMS. I'm going to do it on the basis of a call. Discussed credit terms. So they asked for 60 days versus 30. Agreed to extend credit terms from Q4, and click Save. So that's going to be recorded as a touch point, and it means anybody can go and look at FrameUp and actually view, okay, there was an email in on the 20th of May, that's what they asked for, requested extended terms. You can view the full email, and then you might also have a look at the phone out. So you're getting a full 360-degree view of what's going on with that customer, that there was a phone call, an email in requesting credit terms, and then a phone call out made on that. Now, if I were in my emails and I selected another email here, so make Earth Day count, it's actually going to default to a new prospect because it doesn't recognize the email address. And you can also access a new prospect at any point through your plus button as well here. So if you're out on the road and you make a contact and you want to record that, it'll be searched on thereafter, you can do that. So a quick run through of the kind of information that you can view. So the benefits of MobileX for Sage 300, as I mentioned, no Sage 300 user login required, and that means that you could have your accounting team using the data, but you can extend visibility of the data to your entire company team and allow them to actually navigate and drill through the data if they so wish. Obviously, the accessibility that you have with any mobile solution, you have 300 data on a handheld device. You don't have to load up your laptop. You don't have to wait till you get back to the office. The ability to be able to view orders and give up-to-date information to the customer without having to call it back to the base. And that CRM layer that we've had, the idea of that is to aid business growth. So everybody is kept informed about what communications have taken place with the customer, and also the ability to be able to record prospects for a follow-up when you get back to base. Just to mention, we also have Accelerator for Sage 300, or Outlook integration, for anybody that wants to review that. It's a similar UI, so there's no training challenges with it. If you'd like to place an order or get a quote, please contact your Sage business partner or contact us directly on crmtogether.com/quote-order. Sage 300 MobileX solution available from our website at crmtogether.com. Products Sage 300-mobile. Thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful.